Tonight, you will lie in bed and your brain will find something to worry about. Maybe it is something you said 3 years ago. Maybe it is a bill. Maybe it is nothing at all, just a low hum of dread with no address. And the strangest part is not that it happens. The strangest part is that no matter how many times you tell yourself to stop, your brain refuses. It keeps circling. It keeps pulling the thread. But the real answer to why this happens is far stranger than you think. Your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. And it was built to do this for a reason that has nothing to do with your life, and everything to do with a savannah you will never see. Here is what is actually happening inside your skull. Deep in your brain sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. You have two of them. They do not think. They do not reason. They react. The moment your senses pick up anything that could be a threat, a loud sound, a tense email, a face that looks slightly wrong, your amygdala fires before your conscious mind even registers what is happening. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping this system. He called it the low road. Your brain has two routes for processing fear. The fast route goes straight from your senses to your amygdala and triggers a full-body alarm in milliseconds. The slow route takes a longer path through your thinking brain, your prefrontal cortex, and arrives a fraction of a second later with context, nuance, and reason. Your amygdala always wins the race. By the time your logical brain says, "Relax, it was just the wind," your body has already flooded itself with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart is already faster. Your muscles are already primed. The alarm has already been pulled. And now here is the part no one tells you. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a threat that is real and a threat that is imagined. Psychologist Martin Seligman studied what he called learned helplessness. The idea that once a brain has been exposed to uncontrollable stress, it begins to expect stress even when none exists. Your nervous system learns patterns. It generalizes. It sees a shape in the shadows and decides the entire forest is dangerous. This is not a flaw in your wiring. This is the core survival feature. For the vast majority of human history, your ancestors lived in an environment where threats were everywhere, and forgetting them was fatal. The ancient human who heard a rustle in the grass and thought, probably nothing, sometimes did not survive to have children. The one who catastrophized, the one whose brain turned every shadow into a predator, lived another day. Worry was not a problem. Worry was a strategy. Researchers at Queen's University in Canada found that the average human brain generates between 6,000 and 6,500 thoughts per day. A disproportionate number of them are negative. This is not random. Scientists call it negativity bias. Your brain assigns more weight to bad information than to good information, because bad information, across millions of years, was more likely to be life or death relevant. Your brain is not pessimistic. It is prioritizing. But here is the twist that changes everything. That ancient threat detection system is now running in a world it was never designed for. The amygdala cannot tell the difference between a lion and a passive-aggressive message from your boss. It cannot distinguish between a physical predator and a looming deadline. Every modern stressor gets routed through the same ancient machinery that was built for immediate physical danger. And unlike a lion, which either kills you or goes away, your modern threats never fully resolve. The inbox refills. The deadline becomes another deadline. The worry has nowhere to land. Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett describes the brain as a prediction machine. It is constantly running simulations of what might happen next, building models of the future based on everything you have ever experienced. Worry, in this framework, is your brain doing exactly what it does. Simulating futures, stress testing outcomes, searching for the variable that might get you killed. The problem is the simulation never stops running, because stopping felt dangerous. Because in the ancient world, the moment your brain stood down was the moment something crept up behind you. So your brain defaults to on. It defaults to scanning. It defaults to finding the thing that might go wrong, because doing so kept your ancestors alive long enough to become you. Tonight, when you lie in bed and your brain finds something to worry about, that is not anxiety. That is not weakness. That is 300,000 years of successful survival software running exactly as designed. The brain that cannot stop worrying is the brain that kept your entire bloodline alive. The question is not how to silence it. The question is whether you can learn to tell it gently, patiently, and with full respect for what it has done. That tonight, for once, there is no lion.